Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is VikingSizeGamer, and today I'm going to speak to you about 10 legends that should be in WWE 2K19. Now, these legends have been in the game before, some of them haven't, but it's always worth having them in because some of these guys definitely should never be left out of any WWE game, but more so this year, it seems more likely they should actually be added in. And personally, this is technically my top 10, but if you've got a top 10 yourself, I would love to hear it. Sound off down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more WWE 2K19 concept and news as it comes out. For now, let's just jump straight into this top 10. Hillbilly Jim has just been announced for the WWE Hall of Fame, and what a career the man has. He's actually recently said that he would like to be inducted by Hulk Hogan. Now, he is somebody who has been in a WWE game before, but his moveset isn't exactly all that. It's more the character that you play for. If you have fond memories of Hillbilly Jim being in the WWF, if you are old enough, then Hillbilly Jim deserves to be in the game for you, but also because he has been announced for the WWE Hall of Fame, it seems more likely that he will make it into the game this year as a Hall of Fame attachment, possibly a DLC character. But Hillbilly Jim, more than likely, he's probably not going to be somebody that you'd want to pay a DLC for. He'd come on as a secondary attraction, if not just included in the game on disc. So we'll really have to take a look at this one a bit more in depth, to be fair, but I don't know if he will make it into the game, but more than likely he will be in it. The New Age Outlaws, a tag team surpassed by, well, many others, but it doesn't make them any less entertaining. The tag team that was part of DX at one point, Road Dogg Jesse James and the badass Billy Gunn, had a reign in WWE like no other, with an entrance that was iconic in its own right. They weren't in the game in WWE 2K18, which was very strange considering they had been in previous games. This may be because Billy Gunn has become independent and Road Dogg is working as a producer on SmackDown, much to the annoyance of people who watch SmackDown because they don't rate his ability to book a program, but unfortunately that is what he is doing. But that doesn't take it back from his ability in the ring and his comedic ability with BA Billy Gunn. Just because these two were absolutely phenomenal back in the day in the Attitude Era. I would love to see them in the game again. I would love to see that entrance in WWE 2K19, and I'm sure you guys would too. Rowdy Roddy Piper, a legend of the business. This man had all the answers to the questions unless he changed them, because this man was a front runner for one of the most charismatic, witty men in the WWE. He could captivate audiences and hold their attention. He could turn them against him or put them on his side. He was the perfect heel when he wanted to be. And the man had a presence about him when he came out to his kilt and his Scottish bagpipes. This man definitely deserves to be in WWE 2K19, if not for anything else than the fact that his family actually gave permission for Ronda to have the name Rowdy. This is obviously a big thing considering how much Ronda is going to have an effect in the WWE in the future, that she is carrying that name forward. I would love to see him in the game, and he certainly deserves this now. William Regal, the current general manager of NXT. This man has had one hell of a career, starting off in Blackpool in England, making his way over to WCW and competing over there as Steven Regal, and then finally coming over to the WWE as William Regal. He is a former Intercontinental Champion, European Champion, Tag Team Champion. He's had all of these different titles across all different promotions. The guy's a legend in the business and an amazing technical wrestler. Why he was removed from WWE games, I have absolutely no idea, because he was incredibly fun to play as, has had a couple of decent themes, and probably my favourite one would actually be the Lord William Regal one that they used to use. But to be fair, this man does belong in WWE 2K19, especially with all the work he is doing in NXT. I think he is a worthy addition to actually play as in the game. I'd love to see some of the more technical moves be assigned to him, and then we can play some other different types of matches. I'm very interested to see how it goes. the Legion of Doom, two men, Animal and Hawk, legends of the tag division across the world, Japan, WCW, WWE. These guys were the most intimidating guys to ever hit a ring. If you heard their music, you just dove out of the ring, out of their way, because Animal and Hawk were a force to be reckoned with, using the Doomsday device to capture multiple tag team championships across the world. These two were a phenomenal tag team and definitely worthy of being in WWE 2K19. As soon as you heard that bubbling up of water rush, you knew this tag team was here to make some pain happen and claim a victory. Animal and Hawk definitely deserve to be in WWE 2K19, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me, and if you don't, then what's wrong with you? There's only one other tag team that really deserves to be in this game with their music that I've been calling out for a long, long time. The APA. Bradshaw and Farouk. These two had gone through several different versions of their characters, starting off as the Acolytes by themselves, joining the Ministry, and then forming themselves as the Acolytes Protection Agency. Farouk and Bradshaw, their music was iconic during the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras. These two, when they hit the ring and their music came out, were just as intimidating as Animal and Hawk. In fact, that would have been a fantastic match that I would have loved to have seen. The APA versus Animal and Hawk, the Legion of Doom. For me, that would have been a dream matchup between four of the hardest hitting guys in the WWE. And honestly, they need to be in WWE 2K19 with that music. Forget the JBL gimmick, yeah, that went down very well. Forget not having Farouk in the game at all. These two need to come into the game with themselves in this gimmick, the APA gimmick. Because man, that music is just amazing. You know it was about to go down when that music hit. And I, for one, cannot wait to hear that music in WWE 2K19 and see those two come down to the ring to kick some tail. Hulk Hogan has been in the WWE previously. He has been the man when it comes to WWE games before. There's even been a Hulk Hogan showcase in WWE 2K games, but it seems like right now he is in a bit of a hole and the WWE doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with him. Unfortunately, this is probably going to still be the case, but that doesn't mean that I don't think he could still come back to the WWE in WWE 2K19. Now the reason for this is because he has been in the game before, but not only that, he is an icon of the wrestling industry, and things can be healed. If things can be healed with the Ultimate Warrior, then things surely can be healed with Hulk Hogan. At least you'd like to think so, because the man is an icon of the industry, and I would personally like to see him in WWE 2K19 coming out with his air guitar, throwing his hand up to his ears, trying to get the crowd roaring for him. I would love to see something for WWE 2K19 with Hulk Hogan in it. It just makes sense. Hopefully the rifts can be healed and we can move on and get Hulk Hogan back in the game, just to be able to play with him and use that Hulk Hogan leg drop and big boot and use the entrance animations. I'm really looking forward to see if he's in the game. It would be very good to see one of the icons back in there and included again. Chyna was often referred to as the ninth wonder of the world, and for good reason. This woman is probably one of the biggest icons of the WWE Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras, having multiple matches, being the only female Intercontinental Championship holder, participating in a all-male Royal Rumble, and basically beating the snot out of multiple guys that got in her way. She was a member of D-Generation X, and she was an icon of her time, a leader of females in an industry where basically beauty reigned supreme. She could actually do matches, she could actually perform, and probably was stronger than some of the men in the WWE at that point. Now, I would absolutely love to see Chyna back in WWE 2K19 because it's been a long time since Chyna's actually been in a WWE game. So I think it's important, if you're going to have a women's revolution, to have somebody that's going to be a corner post for the women's division. That has been a long time coming. Chyna hasn't even been inducted into the Hall of Fame yet, but she deserves it. She's been there for so long in the background on people's minds, and this woman has just done so much for women's wrestling over the years that a lot of people don't remember. Her and Lita are having matches, Trish Stratus. In fact, a lot of the time she would fight the males because the female division was above her. Now, if that doesn't speak for how much she's actually came along and defined this women's division, I don't know what would. I would love to see Chyna versus Beth Phoenix, or even Nia Jax versus her as well. It would be one of those characters that you just have to play. And personally, I really think that Chyna needs to be in WWE 2K19. It's time to bring back an icon that needs to be there. The Dudley'S were removed from WWE 2K18 because they had finished up their contract with the WWE. From then on, Devon pretty much retired and became backstage and helped WWE produce shows, and the guys basically out the back put their matches together, whereas Bubba Ray continued to wrestle in Ring of Honor. So it seems to me that the WWE version of the Dudley's is completely retired and the tag team is over. But that doesn't mean that these guys shouldn't be in WWE 2K19. Now, of course, it seems like they are going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year, which makes sense for them to be in the game, because it would be a massive miss if they didn't. Although a lot of people will be upset for the fact that they weren't in WWE 2K18 and now they're going to be in WWE 2K19. The right way to do this would be to not have them in as, well, DLC, because let's be honest, if there's going to be a Hall of Fame, usually it's Hall of Fame DLC. But if you've had the Dudley's in 2K17 missing in 2K18 because of the end of their contract, and then you bring them back in as paid, players are going to feel a little bit cheated. Unfortunately, that's usually the way it goes for this sort of thing, but I would still love to see Devon and Bubba Ray in the ring in WWE 2K19 with Bubba Ray screaming to Devon to get the tables. It would be perfect, and I'm hoping that they make it into the game this year. More than likely they will, because they're in the Hall of Fame, so really it just makes sense to bring them back, put them in the game, and let's enjoy doing some 3Ds on people. Rey Mysterio made his return to the WWE at the Royal Rumble this year, and what a return it was. The man get a massive ovation, and I am very excited for his return. And unfortunately, it's not completely finalized yet, but it seems like he will be getting a match at WrestleMania this year. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to be against John Cena, which it was first reported may be the case. It looks like it will be against an unknown partner at the moment. John Cena, of course, will be taking on the dead man, as it seems that way. But Rey Mysterio still has some things going on at the moment. He has received a bicep tear, but only a minor one, so he should be in the WWE for WrestleMania without fail. He also has a massive match coming up with Jushin Thunder Liger at New Japan as well, so it seems like he will be honouring his independent days before return to the WWE at WrestleMania. Is it going to be a one-off match? I don't know. Could he possibly be the pre-order bonus for WWE 2K19? Quite possibly, but we'd need to see him in a later date to see how he does, to be honest with you, and we'd need that news to leak maybe a little bit earlier. Usually they will bring that out in a few months before it happens and we start getting things like the trailers and things like that, but usually there's a few rumours as to who the pre-order bonus is going to be before it does actually leak in the end. I would like to see Rey Mysterio in this position, because Rey has been away from the WWE for a long time, and the ovation that he did get when he came back for the Royal Rumble, that was huge. So this guy really does deserve to be in WWE 2K19. Everybody wants to see a proper 619, and our core creators don't have to go above and beyond trying to recreate Rey Mysterio with all the tattoos that he has and all the intricate work that he has on his mask and on his trousers. It makes sense that he should be in the game this year, so I'm hoping, and possibly he could be the pre-order bonus. So hopefully he will be in this year. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But that is my WWE 2K19 top 10 legends that should be in the game. What do you guys think of my top 10? Do you think it's viable? Do you think possibly it could actually happen? Do you have your own top 10? Let me know down in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more WWE 2K19 videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.